It's been a new experience. I've never done something like this before. I've gotten to understand my friends more. I've gotten closer with some. And it's really fun to experience these events with them.
I'm really grateful that I was able to go on this trip, and I feel like I'll remember it for a long time.
I really like this program. I think this week I learned a lot of stuff that I probably wouldn't have gone to learn on my own. The history of South Africa, the nature of South Africa, how South Africa is today, and I'm really grateful that I got to learn these stuff.
Field staff. Here at Envoys, we try to cultivate and curate really exceptional and alternative and holistic approaches to education, focusing on the experiential aspects, so taking kids out of the classroom and into the real world and talking about real world discussions. Okay, let's go! You can handle it.
Hi, I'm Halalelo, South African, and I'm here with AISLagos in January 2025, and we are here with the students. This is day one.
Sanbonani? Sanbonani? Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna get everyone to take one step in. For this program specifically, our focus is on social and environmental justice, community kinship, and sustainability and climate change, and we're hoping to kind of bridge the gap between students from across the world to South African culture. We're very excited to collaborate and be here with you, facilitate and guide your way through South Africa and Johannesburg. I'm Valerie. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I think I have fellow Canadians here. Who's Canadian?
Henry's Canadian.
Who's a Canadian, right? My favorite animal, I have many, but maybe I'll choose an elephant. My favorite hobby is diving. My biggest pet peeve is people talking over one another. Okay?
Taran. I am from South Africa, from here. I'm actually based in Cape Town, so I'm in Joburg or Johannesburg with you guys this week. I'm very excited to meet all of you and get to know all of you guys. We've got a jam-packed program for you, which is going to be absolutely life-changing, and you're going to leave here as different individuals. But you have to be responsive to that as well. Okay.
Today is day one of the program. We are here at Modderfontein Reserve Park. So we're obviously out in nature, a lot of greenery, a lot of trees. It's been raining over the last couple of days, and day one is really just to lay the bases and sort of the ground rules, the culture of respect, the culture of Ubuntu is the way that we'll treat not only ourselves and other people, but the environment. So I'm really excited just to get to know everybody. It's a lot of ice breaking, a lot of games, so that from tomorrow it's a full steam ahead in terms of the program.
My name is Ethan. I'm from America. My favorite animal is lions.
How you doing? My name's Sebastian. I'm from Nigeria and my favorite animal is a penguin.
Hi Sebastian, my name is Zina. I'm Nigerian but I was born in New Jersey and my favorite animals are jellyfish. I give it to
Okay, hi Zina. My name is Sanvi and I'm Indian but I was born in Houston, Texas. My favorite animal is a cheetah. No.
That's nice, I don't know. Got it, we'll be there in 5 minutes. And scene, okay, what?
I'm very excited as a South African to welcome the group to South Africa. We are calling the overarching themes Experiencing South Africa Through a Black Lens. So the program will include a lot of things that talk to economic justice, obviously the history of South Africa and where it's come to be right now. I'm very excited to go to different sites, including things like townships and museums, to interact with locals and also to interact with the environment, because environmental justice is also obviously a very important part. I'm most excited for the team to really have a curiosity around South Africa, and hopefully by the end of the trip to have their questions answered.
Three of us field staff leaders here, your envoys leaders, we're all from a different race, if you didn't notice. I have the perspective of a white foreigner, white female foreigner. Kay has the perspective of a black South African, and Saran has the perspective of a white South African. You have a very unique, and you as a student body, you're a very diverse group of individuals. I'm gonna see if I can remember all the countries we have represented. Netherlands, UK, Canada, United States, Nigeria, India. Am I missing one?
Brazil.
Lebanon, Israel, Brazil. So the diversity just in this room. South Korea. Hungary. Who's from Hungary? Amazing. So I really want you to really think about that. The diversity just in this room alone is really, really impactful. And each person here has a very unique perspective. And if we take the opportunity in this program to really talk to our neighbors, to talk to the people around us, just in our little family unit here for the next week, the learnings that we can get from one another is incredible, and I think we need to take advantage of that. And I think we also need to understand how unique and how powerful that really is. And so we're going to talk about Ubuntu a lot. We're going to tie this philosophy into our programming a lot, and we're going to say an invitation to you each day. And today's invitation is, how can you seek connection with others? So after a short video, we're going to invite you to do a little journaling, and we're going to give you some prompts. So please write these prompts in your journal, and then you will go find a journaling spot. Your first prompt is, what does Ubuntu mean to me? Okay, the second prompt is, what am I most excited for on this trip to South Africa? What am I most excited for? I promise to do blank in order to be the most respectful and conscious visitor.
So this year, our students are in South Africa for our trip, and the theme of our South African trip is Ubuntu, and that translates to I am because you are. And Ubuntu is a philosophy that empowers us to be a community. It thrives on interpersonalities and interdependence. So the students are going to be engaging in a lot of activities that are going to force them to reflect, collaborate, and they're also going to be learning about the South African history, and they'll be seeing a lot of things that will empower them to really reinforce this Ubuntu philosophy when they come back to Lagos. So I'm really excited for what's to come. We're off to a good start.
Would you like to know our itinerary for tomorrow? Yeah. So tomorrow you have a 7:30 to 8:30 breakfast. Then we are starting with a tour up to a church, and there you're gonna have an information session with a tour guide, a local tour guide from Soweto there. And then we're gonna do a bicycle tour around Soweto. And then we are gonna go to our tour of Nelson Mandela's house. Did you know we were going there? No. That is very cool. I want you to understand how cool that is. It's very cool.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mateo. Happy birthday to you. 1, 2, 3. Mateo! Happy birthday!
Come here, guys and girls, please. We're in Soweto today, the biggest township in Africa, and we're going to do a bicycle tour, go past Mandela's house, we're going to go past the Hector Pieterson Memorial Site, which is part of the Soweto Uprising. We're going to see a couple of churches, eat some African traditional cuisine, and just see Soweto.
Good morning, everyone! Good morning. How are you? Good. Welcome to Lebu Soweto Backpackers.
Yeah!
Today's my birthday!
Today's your birthday! Guys, let's wish Mateo a happy birthday. We are going to sing for Mateo. Happy, happy birthday! Happy, happy birthday to you! Oh, Lebo is the founder of the Backpackers. As you can see, Lebo Soweto Backpackers. Sadly, he passed away 2021 on Christmas Day. The main reason he founded the Backpackers, he said, this is not a safari. You must get off the big bus. You must come down to the township. You walk with us. You cycle with us. We started with eco-friendly tours, but not everyone is a fan of cycling and walking, so at a later stage he introduced the tuk-tuks.
Yes!
Okay. Where is this group from? Which country? Oh, bienvenue à Soweto. Nigeria. Lagos.
Yes.
Okay, welcome.
How are you? How are you? Come.
Yeah.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's day 2 of South Africa. We're gonna go biking now.
I feel like it's gonna be a really fun adventure about southwestern townships, Soweto, aka.
I'm really excited for the bike riding. We're gonna go explore the neighborhood. That's what I'm most excited for today. We're also gonna go explore Nelson Mandela's house. We're gonna see the culture. We're gonna see the history of South Africa.
Helmets. Helmets are mandatory. You grab a helmet, it's adjustable at the back. Hey Lagos, brothers and sisters, thank you for Davido and Benabo. You're welcome. Thank you guys.
Yeah, this is your fresh prince from Soweto. Thank you. How are you guys there in Nigeria? Welcome to Soweto.
It's perfect.
We have the master cyclist.
Yeah.
Brake, front brake. Back brake is on your right, front brake is on your left. Always use your back brake on the right hand or the left.
Sent to where the flags are, alright? Come through. Leave your bikes here, we are walking. Thank you and welcome to Soweto. Does anyone know what Soweto stands for?
Southwest Township.
Thank you, Mo.
Wow! Let's all give a clap for Jay!
Where we are, it's called Gauteng. Gauteng. Come on, Gauteng. From the 12 official languages, there's one which is mostly spoken.
Afrikaans.
Zulu. Thank you. Xhosa. Yes, that's one. Xhosa. Can I teach you Xhosa?
Teach me.
Xhosa.
Teach me.
Which is alphabet Q. Okay, there's Q. Then there's X, which is. Then there's C. quite a very sad photo, but quite famous as well. 16 June 1976, we had Soweto student uprising. Where the young people in the townships went to the streets to peacefully protest against the system, because the apartheid government wanted to feed township black children poor or inferior education. The government was never in favor when it comes to African people. They wanted to render them subhuman to a point. They wanted to feed black children poor education. So the students in the township say, we are also human enough, we deserve proper education. Unfortunately, the government didn't recognize that. So the students decided to go to the streets on the 16th of June 1976, where we had over 15,000 high school students coming together like this. They held hands like this. The purpose of holding hands like this is to show that the demonstration they're about to embark on is peaceful. And guess what, guys? What? Police came with guns. So the walls that you see here symbolize students holding hands. Okay, the trees over here, this would be a confrontation where we had police, we had students, police armed. Can you see the spaces in between? Does anyone know what? Maybe just a rough guess?
People who got shot.
People who got shot. The children, not just people, but the children who got shot. Peacefully holding hands. Police came, they said no. They started killing them, shooting. And the young boy on the photo who's being carried became one of the first victims. He was just 12 years old, by the name Hector Pieterson. Bullet went right through his throat. One leg like that. Strike the balance. Come on, guys.
The kids that came in peace, they were doing it with Nelson Mandela, right?
No, Mandela was in prison. Yeah. Remember Mandela was arrested?
Yeah. So they did it
62.
So they did it for him.
For themselves and Mandela. Yes.
The police force that was there where the kids were there, did they eventually get shut down, or what happened to them?
The police who shot? Yeah. Okay, guys, in 1995, so that was a year later after Mandela was released, they developed what will be known as the TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Mandela and Archbishop Desmond Tutu. So these two figures will be the two Nobel Peace Prize. And they come from the same street which we're going to visit. So Mandela appointed Tutu to chair the TRC, where they said all those who've committed apartheid crimes, including the police who shot the children, come forward, confess. We're going to grant you amnesty. You know, and however some came, but majority still today, they never showed up.
Wow.
So nothing much really happened to most of those perpetrators.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, So we are on one of the most famous streets in Soweto in South Africa. It's called Vilakazi Street. Right now behind me is Mandela House. This is where he stayed for quite some time in Soweto with his second wife, Mandela. We're going to go in. Fortunately, cameras aren't allowed, but I promise you it's an experience where you get to see the most intimate part of where this man and his children slept at the time. Some accolades and some personal items are in the house. So pretty excited.
The first black president of South Africa. So this is where he lived before and after prison, which today it's a museum. So 1990 he was released, he came back here. 1994, that's when he was elected as the first black president of South Africa. No more apartheid. One, two, three. Mandela. One, two, three. Sakumzi.
This church have got much more history of the students. Right during the uprising of 1976, when the student protest against Afrikaans as medium of instruction, they were holding meetings over here. The gatherings were not allowed at all. If they find you in a group, you get arrested. And if it's in the night, you get killed. So that's why people of Soweto were so much angry. After the government changed all the books into Afrikaans, forcing everyone in the country to learn in Afrikaans. Just imagine.
I think what surprised me the most about Soweto was the economic divide. For example, if you're driving down a highway or a street, there was one part of the tour where on the left side was the very wealthy people, and then on the right side were people who were living close to poverty. And it's just interesting how a lot of this is systematic and it's rooted in history and things that have happened around apartheid. Segregation is still happening now. It may not be as obvious, but it's still happening. And, you know, though South Africa has come a long way, you know, this whole movement, you know, freedom and everything wasn't that long ago. So it just shows there's still so much that is to have been accomplished in terms of equal rights and all of that.
This apartment you see over here are built by the government, and we call them the RDP houses. So RDP is a project which the former President Nelson Mandela introduced to build houses for the black people or the poor people of South Africa.
I liked the vibe of Soweto. People were very hospitable and, like, you know, friendly. Everyone had a smile on their face. Everyone was a one big community.
I don't know if it's because I'm like a foreigner and I'm not from here, or if it's like that all the time, but like everybody was just really, really nice.
The people were so unique and kind, because every time in the bicycle tours when we were walking, we would pass, they would give us a huge smile on their face. They would greet us really nicely. So then I found that really, like, heartwarming.
Even though there's been a lot that has happened in South Africa's history, the fact that people are still positive, there's still a richness in the culture, there's still a happiness, there's still a joy. I think that's what makes me happy, because it just shows you that the South Africans cannot be broken. No matter what happens to them, they are not broken and they continue to rise. So it was nice to just see when we were going to different places on our tour, you know, we would have locals coming up to us singing, you know, even the people that were leading the tours and talking to us. There's like a sense of joy that they have in spite of all the things that they've gone through historically. And that just really just forces me to count it all joy whenever I'm dealing with things in my life, because there's a lot of people on this earth that have dealt with a lot worse. And in spite of that, they're still happy. They still have a reason to be joyful. So I think that's what really made me smile, because all in all, they're always joyful and they're really amazing people to be around.
It's the humanity. People in Soweto still till this day, with their struggles, still have joy.
I love the fact that people of South Africa, especially Soweto, that believe in communal service, and I love the fact that they believe in the leadership of their grandfather, so to say. That's how they say it, Mandela. They love his leadership.
Hello Lagos, this is the guy from Soweto. Nice one, eh?
All right, thank you.
Soweto. Thanks for coming through. Cool for coming through.
Thank you.
So we are Sinbon. See you next time.
All right, thank you.
I think the one thing most people and even young people can take as a lesson from Mandela's life and life story is bravery. He would not have known that he would have become a president. He wasn't driven by one day becoming a president. Obviously had a cause, so just be brave. The people and the young people of today are facing different challenges, but the one thing that still stands out and is still needed is bravery. So be brave, fight for a cause, and even when they risk, just be brave.
He just wanted to keep going, and he really wanted to free his people. And people just know him as like the first black president of South Africa, but I believe there's so much more than that. And he is he gave so much right to the black people in South Africa.
I think it was really special how he never gave up, because he spent 27 years in jail, which is more than twice my lifetime.
Even after being in prison for 27 years, he still made a political comeback and became president of South Africa.
Young people, I'll advise that you take this from Mandela's story, that whatever you are passionate about, you hold on to it and make sure that you keep fighting for it.
I think one lesson that students can learn from Mandela's life story is be willing to do the work. Be willing to go the length for a cause. Whether it's a career you're after, whether it's a project you're working on, if you're trying out for a team, be willing to do the work and don't give up when things are difficult, because Mandela spent his entire life fighting for the rights of blacks, and it took years. He lived a very long life, close to 100 years on this earth, and if Mandela can do it, what is our excuse?
Did we learn a lot today? I would love to know what you learned today.
The AIS students are super intelligent. I can see that, especially children of their age. They are willing to learn and listen and understand South African culture and South African history. They're very mature, very almost beyond their years. Of course, they're still just children, but beyond their years in terms of showing millennials what the different age group looks like nowadays.
How many people are in Soweto?
3 million.
Nice.
The middle class areas are right next to the upper class areas.
I really just enjoy their company. They're a very lively, energetic bunch. So I really love their curiosity. That's the biggest thing. They come to a country that most of them don't know much about. So for me, that's my job. That's why I'm here. I want to give as much knowledge as possible, and they are really taking advantage of the time, which is great.
Today I learned that Nelson Mandela has a certificate signed by the chairman of Nigeria in his house.
We're with middle schoolers, and if you know anything about middle schoolers, they can be very rambunctious, they can be very energetic, and sometimes you might not think that they're taking things in. But I was pleasantly surprised when we asked questions about a lot of the things that we learned early on in the day, and they were able to give us that information.
2 different Nobel Peace Prize winners on the same street.
What's the street name? Do you remember the name?
Yeah, Desmond Tutu and then Nelson Mandela.
I think that the kids are really enjoying it. They're learning a lot, so it's a nice balance of fun and educational aspects. When they write in their journals, we're able to really see what they're taking away from it, and we're reassured that they are taking away something from this experience.
So you can start by saying, "Dear Nelson Mandela," and then just whatever flows. We're going to give you 10 minutes. Be intentional with this. Remember what he did for this country and what he fought for.
We made so much memories together, like with friends, and biking together, and it was so much fun. As a friend group, it's really nice to see everybody enjoy and laugh and see people sing, see their talent, and it's just so amazing to see.
So these yearly excursions that we take our students on is more than just a trip. It's more than just going to a foreign country and going on a bunch of tours. This is an opportunity for our students to really immerse themselves in culture and really learn about different cultures and broaden their perspectives. After all, we want our students to be global citizens. We want our students to learn outside of the classroom walls. So this is an opportunity for them to learn and immerse themselves in different cultures. And from my experiences going on the field trips with my students, they come back with a new sense of gratitude. They come back really wanting to make a change, whether it's something in the school community or it's something in their home community. So it's a really, really great opportunity to have your students not only learn more about different cultures, but expand their education, expand their outreach, and come back and use what they've learned to make a change in their own communities. And that's what we hope for as we teach our students at AIS.